compliance with the requirements of the order. This is a factual issue, and certainly to the extent the company does later produce a study at some point, that's going to obviously disadvantage many of the parties who won't have an opportunity to fully examine the study that the witnesses prepared. But again, I raised the concern. I don't want to see the same problem that we saw in another case happen in this case with regard to the production of what's deemed as a confidential or otherwise proprietary document. So I wanted to at least bring that to your attention, that we're a little bit concerned by the company's response. That apparently, and I don't know if this is because of the witnesses' company's agreement with the other peer group companies or not, but we're not going to be able to make an actual comparison to the case. I do want the Commission to take note of the concerns that we have, and this was perhaps highlighted in response to OBC Gap Request number 36 that was just recently provided to the Office of Homeland Security. With regard to contested issue number 1.
What's your name, sir?
My name is Eugene Perrier, and I'm here with an organization known as Justice First.
And what's the reason for the protest action here?
We're out here today demanding that PEPCO, which is the Washington, D.C. Public utility, what they do is they basically buy energy and then provide it to the citizens of Washington, D.C. We're demanding that they roll back their utility rates 50%. In the past year, PEPCO has already raised rates twice, and they're now inside of the building that we're in front of right now asking for more rate increases in both October of this year and January of 2010.
As I understand it, there are tens of thousands of people in the District of Columbia who have already received notice that they're going to be cut off, their utilities are going to be cut off, and here we are now in July and August. So this is the kind of thing you're talking about. On top of that, they're going to raise the prices.
Exactly. Over 1 million people on May 1st in the D.C. area who were provided by PEPCO had received notices that they were going to be shut off, which gives you a sense of the magnitude of the problem. The average rate for PEPCO has increased almost double, triple for some individuals, sometimes over $100 for these various electricity bills. And PEPCO every single year increases rates every season, or at least every winter and every spring. And so year after year, even if you're using less electricity, you are actually continuing to pay more money. So if you're trying to be more energy efficient, it's actually not helping you, and you're also continuing to lose so much money. And in this time of economic crisis, we know that people are having to do much more with a lot less, which means they can't afford this. PEPCO made $11 billion, $300 million in profit in 2008. They're paying $9 million to the former CEO who just retired, Dennis Rassi, and that alone could wipe out tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people who owe money to PEPCO. It could completely wipe that out, and we're asking them to do that and to take the reality of a public utility. That's what it is. Electricity is a right, not a privilege. Roll back rates 50%, make them affordable for individuals, and make this a real public utility.
Well, it seems like a real rip-off when you've got the CEOs taking these big payoffs. In Maryland, there's a guy named Mayo Shattuck who's looking for an $83 million payout at the ratepayers' expense. So this is what's going on, is that right?
It's exactly what's going on. Constellation Energy in Maryland, PEPCO here in D.C., Dominion Power in Virginia. This is part of a general trend by utilities. They say, you know, I mean, we all can remember when power utilities were all public utilities. Now many of these companies have been privatized, and all of us remember what happened in California in 2003, and we're seeing the same thing here now. These companies are privatized. They claim more competition is going to bring your rates down and improve your service, but your service doesn't improve, and your rates continue to skyrocket through the roof.
So part of the evil we're talking about is deregulation. And it started under Reagan, I believe, and it's just continued. And you're referring to the Enron situation in California,
Yes.
which was simply obscene.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Anything else, Eugene?
Well, I would just ask people to, you know, wherever you are, first of all, you know, look and see if this is happening in your city, because it's not just in D.C., and don't let yourself get caught flat-footed. You can reach out to us in Justice First. You know, if you'd like, email us at heatandlightarearight@gmail.com. That's heatandlightarearight@gmail.com, or you can call us at 202-265-0333. That's 202-265-0333 if you want to know more about our PEPCO campaign to roll back rates, or if you in your city want to do something similar.
Now, I noticed that there were some of the activists We're at the Public Service Commission up on the 7th floor here today.
Yes, sir.
And they had their signs out. Will any of them be allowed to testify?
None of them will be allowed to testify. There is a public testifying period, but it's very short, and they don't tell anyone really when it is to make it as hard as possible for people to sign up to limit the testifying. And so most of the testimony that will come today will be on behalf of PEPCO, although thankfully there are several lawyers who are trying to get an injunction against PEPCO who will be testifying against the rate increases.